on the highway, can you do 80 steady peacefully? Yes. Can you do 90 steady peacefully? Peacefully, slightly difficult. On its own, you have a Hunter, you do 90 on the highway, you'll feel okay. It's when you have a reference point and realize, whoa, that feels kind of busy.
Yeah.
That's the problem. When you do 100, can you do 100? Yes, you can do 100. Will 100 feel bad on the Hunter? No, absolutely not. Until you have a reference point.
It's still got the slight buzzy feel to it.
It's still got the slight buzzy feeling. There's a slight mismatch saying if the J series had 2 or 3 states of tune, the Hunter would have deserved the highest revving, happier at the top state of tune, whereas the Classic 350 has the perfect state of tune. When you take the perfection of the Classic 350 state of tune and put it in a lighter, happier, friendlier, livelier bike like the Hunter, suddenly it feels like the chassis is youthful, but the engine stopped. And that mismatch, it bugs me. It still bugs me. If it doesn't bug you, the Hunter is actually a fun bike to ride. Now, so I was talking about the headlight.
One sec. I think what he's trying to say is that the potential for the Hunter to really be a different kind of Royal Enfield exists. It's there in the chassis. Now the suspension is working well along with the 17-inch wheels. It's an idea that's tying together. But along with that, if it actually had more performances, which is what Shumi is talking about, if it had a slightly different power curve where it actually made a bit more performance higher up in the rev range, then when you revved it out, then everything would be talking to each other and it would feel like a different kind of Royal Enfield and more special also because of it.
Correct. Think of the Hunter as potentially what a calm Guerrilla 450 would have been. Like Guerrilla 450, what I get annoyed by is it's an extremely busy motorcycle, which I like when I want to be busy, and it's a very tiring way to ride a motorcycle. So at some point I want this Guerrilla to calm down. But if you were to calm the Guerrilla down, you'd realize it's a higher revving engine in a higher revving chassis, as it were. Together, they make a good pair. And on the Hunter, you're missing the engine end of the pair. And to me, it's a feeling. You might be so new to motorcycling, this hadn't occurred to you. So again, please don't take me seriously, because I know what's going to happen. The Hunter guys are saying, you have something against the Hunter. I don't, but I think you could have had a better experience.
Listen, I would like to discuss this a little bit further. You generally, in terms of tastes, like motorcycles, which are...
No, when I'm a tester, I'm looking for balance. When I'm personally buying a motorcycle, I want faster, sharper, compact, angry, aggressive. This is my flavor of motors, not as a tester.
So
for a tester...
So the Guerrilla, how is it different in that mood?
The Guerrilla is angry all the time. And therefore, it is like... the example I gave on the Guerrilla MotorInc first is appropriate. You walk into a house, there's a puppy who's happy to see you, and you play with this puppy. And then 20 minutes later, the puppy is still just as excited. And now you're slightly annoyed with this puppy saying, why won't it calm down? And then 45 minutes later, it's still trying to do the same things. And at that point, this puppy is getting very, very annoying. And an hour later, you probably left the house because the damn puppy won't settle. There is a flavor to that Guerrilla, which is a very powerful flavor. I want that flavor in short bursts. And I want a way to calm it down and say, not right now, please. Can you please just sit and be, I love you. Can you just sit? And the Guerrilla doesn't seem to have that mode. And that's what I don't like about the Guerrilla. For a motorcycle though, I'm always looking for balance. The reason why the R15 version 1 is superior to version 2 is balance. R15 version 2 is the more capable motorcycle. But the chassis and engine balance of version 1 was just better than 2. And they regained it in 3 and improved it in 4. So that curve to me looks like the top of a MotorInc logo, as it turns out. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Actually, one correction there, I would say. The 2 became easy for most people to ride, but the 1 still remained the purest form of the...
Even today, when I see, I just saw one, when I see a version 1 R15, my heart beats a little bit faster because I know that that engine and that chassis, they are life partners. They talk to each other. The whole thing is in sync.
And they are so good.
Classic 350, chassis, engine in sync. And Royal Enfield basically turned the company upside down to make sure that the J Series Classic 350 would be in that kind of sync. They had to.
And good suspension.
Right? The Bear is almost there. If Royal Enfield were to roll out a suspension change to the Bear, I'm telling you that it's too heavy for me, it's too large for me, blah, 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 blah. And I'd probably be like, I should buy a Bear.
Dude, I get it.
Right?
I get it.
I'm telling you that when you get that balance right, that balance makes normal motorcycles incredible. And the Hunter, it needs the engine now. The big stumbling block was the suspension. It's behind us now. Now the big step for the Hunter would be if Royal Enfield can have a slight update to the tune of the engine, which would give you a little bit more at the top, a little bit more staying power, a little bit more breathing room, where at 100 on the highway, you'd be like, oh, so nice. So that liveliness, agility, etc., all just has to tie together. Chassis is doing it. Engine's just 2 steps behind. That's it.
Okay.
Right? Normally at this point, we tell you to give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, and you can still do that if you feel like. But what you should really do is throw a lot of money at us. But since that is really hard to do, here is an easy option.